Joel Tries. Hello, audience! Welcome to another installment of Joel Tries, where I, the Joel, try out a game. And today, we're going to try out my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. It's called M.U.S.C.L.E, and it's from 1991 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, this game was developed by Microsoft, and it was published by Marvel Entertainment. Yeah. And it is a beautiful, beautiful game. Look at it. Look at the graphics on this. Yeah. So, it may not look like it to the untrained eye, but this is actually a dancing game, and is also a role-playing game. I'm gaining experience. You see that up on the top there? Oh. Yeah, I bet you never seen a dancing game with power-ups before. Oh, look at him pose. Look at him pose. Yes. Oh, I can't jump. So, this game consists of two playstyles, Ice Capades and Freestyle, and it was based off the Japanese version of the Stretch Armstrong toy, but the special edition version that was the Ballerina Stretch Armstrong. There we go. Yeah. And I took that toy and made an entire game out of it. Beautiful, beautiful game. Yeah, come here. Yeah. So, the controls are a little bit strange for a Super Nintendo game. In fact, you move around with the X, Y, and A, B buttons. That's how you move. You use X for up, Y for left, etc. And you actually use the D-pad for your dance moves. That's right. So the game's name, M.U.S.C.L.E, it actually spells out something, if you notice the dots there. It's Marvel's unique Super Character League Entertainment. That's right. Those are Marvel characters dancing there. Can you tell? That's right. So, this game was considered at the time of its release to be art house and edgy, and kind of ahead of its time, in a way that is kind of hard to tell just by looking at it. You have to go deeper into its subliminal meanings. It's minimalist and existential. It's a stark examination of the human condition, and its beauty and its grace are hard to grasp at first. It's fantastic and unexpected. It has a harshness tempered with an emotional palate. It's impressionistic and dramatic, yet real and relatable. It's not so much a game as it is a bold statement about disillusionment and re-illusionment. It sweeps up the dust of the soul, and wisely it doesn't throw it out, but rather sweeps it under the rug of truth. It's nonconformist in a conservative way. It's isolationist, but engagingly open. It asks more of its audience than just button presses. It asks the big questions, and it answers them too. It features stark, syncopated symmetry, which is supported by a rugged, yet unrelenting style. It mixes modern and classic, while subjecting the senses to a series of sharp contrasts. This title stands on its own as a work of art, yet it works best as a part of a greater line of media, including its sequels and spin-offs, all of which are immensely popular and loved by all. This piece has stood the test of time. In over 20 years since its release, its impact has actually grown, when other similar works have had a diminished impact. So this game was developed in Marvel Studios, with Microsoft on hand, using the fanciest Cray computers of the time, to implement a stark and surprisingly realistic interpretation of reality, reduced down to a scale of which the mind can only comprehend by small squirrels. This game works on a level beyond that of which the mind can absorb. It's like you take everything in life that is beautiful and wrong as well as right, and you put it in a blender of the soul, and then you put that blender in a microwave, and then you throw it down a cliff. And somewhere along the way, you have achieved the wonder that is this game. Its design forces you to examine your very inner core. Its toenails are that of legend. When men sing of this game in future songs, it will be songs of beauty and also of amazement. This game won every video game award that there was to be had in 1991 and 1992, achieving Game of the Year status 2 years in a row. It received 10 out of 10 in every magazine, even ones that don't go up to 10 in their rating scales. GamePro gave it a whole different face that was even redder than their other face. This game won awards that don't even apply to video games. It won a Grammy, and an Oscar, and a Pulitzer, and a Nobel Peace Prize. This game is credited with ending a famine in Africa and in Asia. This game has led to no less than 37 peer-reviewed scientific papers that have advanced the fields of 13 different areas of scientific study. And yet this game is still humble. It doesn't aspire to greatness. Greatness aspired to it. The Dos Equis guy doesn't always play video games, but when he does, he plays M.U.S.C.L.E for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And this is by far the greatest game ever made for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, bar none. Which is an amazing feat, considering that it was a release title for the Super Nintendo. Can you believe it? And that's about all the time we have, so with that I'd like to give you my outro. And that wraps up this edition of Joel Tries. Stay tuned for more The Joel Action. And find me over on Twitter at I'm a Joel, on Facebook at I'm the Joel, here on the YouTube channel I'm the Joel, and in space on the colony on Mars. Farewell.